When we're in primary school, elementary school, as it's called in certain jurisdiction, the mathematics teacher wrote on the board 4 minus 6. And the mathematics teacher looked at us and said, impossible. How many of you did those impossible equations? They wrote 2 minus 3 and you were supposed to say impossible. And really, we had a lot of those impossible equations. Once you are trying to remove something bigger from something smaller, the answer was impossible. And if you had a dramatic mathematics teacher like I had, he had a dramatic way of explaining how you cannot remove something bigger from something small, because if you have 2 things, how can you explain removing 3 things from 2 things? And guess what? It made sense to us. I'm sure that you know that if you bring 2 eggs or 2 oranges, you put them on the table, and then you ask your son to bring 3 out of the 2, they will appreciate how it was impossible. For them, it was logical that it was impossible. And so we understood that. And then we got to the secondary school, high school as it's called in certain places. One of the first things they brought to the table were the things I already knew in my primary school as impossible. So they said 4 minus 6, and you can understand when there was a chorus answer. Apparently it wasn't only Mr. Edward that was teaching us impossible. There was a chorus answer, what? Impossible. And everybody felt we understood it, and the teacher kept quiet for a moment, and then he said, no, that's wrong. So this teacher now told us that, no, that's not the right answer. 4 minus 6 is minus 2. He said, okay, you are new here. Let's use our oranges. How do you take 6 things out of 4? Come and show us with oranges. And with oranges, it is not possible, right? What we didn't know was that advanced mathematics cannot be illustrated with oranges. Oranges were to help our small brain appreciate the concept. Mathematics was not wrong. Mr. Edward was not wrong. The new teacher was not wrong, even though they gave different answers. The issue was context. The issue was time. What we could understand then was impossible. But now, the teacher wanted to introduce us to advanced mathematical concepts, and he needed to start by debunking what we were taught, by opening our minds to greater possibilities. Because how do you understand calculus if you don't understand that nothing is impossible? How do you get algebra? How do you master the almighty formula and all the other things we later learned in mathematics if basic 4 minus 6 you are still saying impossible? And the teacher acknowledged that actually what they are teaching at the level you have left is still impossible. We are now here. If you still went back to primary 6, what they are still teaching is what? Impossible. But now you have moved on. You can no longer learn impossible. You must start to hear every day now that it is possible. So Jesus acknowledged that with men, this is impossible. If all you want to stay with is men, this is impossible. That dream with men, it is impossible. That idea with men, it is impossible. And you are correct that it is not logical for it to be possible. But Jesus is saying the reason you are saying it is impossible is because you are still in the lower classes. If you move up to the higher classes, there is an answer for every situation.